Hey guys, what is going on? Can everyone hear me? We just started the live stream, so I want to make sure everything's good to go and you guys can hear me and everyone's having a good time. So, is everyone there? Aloha, hello, what up? How's everyone doing? So it's 2:38 p.m. my time right now. What time is it for you guys? Where are you in the world? Are you in the States? Are you in Europe? Are you in Antarctica? Where are you? Maybe Tatooine? Who knows? Woo! There's a lot of you here today. Okay, so what is going on with everyone? Has everyone seen Solo? If you have seen Solo, type yes. If you haven't, type no. So I'm wondering, should we keep this one spoiler free or should we just talk about, everything? What do you guys think? And do you guys want music with these live streams? I mean, I could, always throw in the music there, just like I do in the videos. So we got some people from Texas. No, a lot of people don't want don't want any spoilers. Kentucky, Massachusetts. Anyone from Europe? Might be too late for you guys in Europe. Probably all asleep now. Some people haven't seen it and they're like, no, we don't care about spoilers though. So you guys do want some music. All right, let me throw on some Star Wars Theory music here. Is that too loud or is that good? Just the right amount? You guys let me know. We're gonna get started in just a second here. I'm thinking, yeah, maybe we should do some music pretty much forever now whenever we do the live streams. I think that would be probably more fun. Music's good? It's too quiet. You guys want it louder? Okay, is that better? Okay, so a lot of people are wondering about the face reveal. So I guess we could get that started first. So first off the bat, we have a new image, a new concept art image here, and that is going to be from the scene from the fan film. And I'm not going to give too much away because I want you guys to figure out for yourselves. But what do you think is going on in this scene here? Do you think Vader is actually trying to kill Palpatine? Do you think they're training? Why are the Red Guards so absolutely destroyed there? I mean, one's even missing an arm. So, what could be going on here? I want to know what you guys think. And I'm gonna let the comments roll in here. Face reveal. Lots of people are saying face reveal. Face reveal will take place once the fan film shoots. I will have a part in the film, and you guys will see for yourselves. So, if you haven't donated already to the Kickstarter, we got 24 days left. Kickstarter link is in the description below. I just want to get that out there before we start today's video. Shameless plug, as always. But this one's for the fans, so if you haven't checked out the Kickstarter, make sure you do that right now. If the film doesn't reach funding, will you read the script in a video? No. I have a plan B, and I will not stop, even if this doesn't reach funding. So, more about that will be revealed, at the end of the 24 days, and then we'll go from there. But, obviously, this is all in your hands, so we can still make this happen, if you want it. Can I slow down the chat? Yes, I can. Alright, so let's see. Let's go to the live control room here. Or is it info and settings? Advanced settings, enable slow chat. What do you guys want? Like, yeah, no, I guess 60 seconds is good. We could do that. Is that better? Slow mode is on. All right. Someone sends with their super chat as pooped by Anakin Skywalker. Thoughts on Jeremy John's video? I pretty much 100% agree with this video. It was good, and I've been working on a video like that for the last 2 days, and funny enough, he uploads one. I never heard of his channel before, but yeah, someone forwarded me the video, and actually, he made a lot of sense, and a lot of that is reiterated in my video, which I've just been taking my time on releasing, but yeah, maybe I'll upload it today or tomorrow for you guys. Someone asks, what is the Vader fan film about? Well, you got to go to the Kickstarter and check it out. It takes place 8 months after Revenge of the Sith. And, yeah, I mean, there's a lot to know about it. But basically, Vader goes back to Naboo, or to Naboo for the first time. And he's very conflicted with Padme's grave that's there. But he also has to hunt down the remaining Jedi from Order 66 that Palpatine has sent him on. And this scene, I'm not going to tell you when it takes place, but Vader is so conflicted at this point between the death of Padme, turning to the dark side, you know, turning his whole back on the Jedi Order, killing the younglings, and fighting Obi-Wan and losing to him, that he doesn't really know which direction to go. And when he goes to Naboo, he has to fight none other than Mace Windu, who has survived and returns. So, all the images are on the website there. If you guys want to see, we can go check that out right now. And a quick shout out to, these are all the people who have donated. All of you guys that have donated so far. And these will be updated every 48 hours. So I'm going to announce a lot of the top donors' names in a video. So you guys can be, you know, prepared for that. Also, we got the Star Wars chat on there. For those of you who want to see on the website. So go check out the website right now. The Kickstarter link is below. Also, StarWarsTheory.com, where you guys can just, you know, chill, hang out, do whatever you want. So, Solo. What should we talk about? Did you guys like the film? Did you see the film? What did you think of it? Let me know. What's going on? What's going through your heads? I'm not just going to be answering super chats. I'll be answering everybody's questions, but, you know, obviously super chats are a little easier to get to because you just pop up. But now that I put on slow mode, should be easier for you to ask me your questions. Someone asks, do you like Lego Star Wars? Yeah, I never really got into it, but yeah, sure, it looks fun. Someone says, as pooped by Anakin Skywalker again, thanks for your super chat, man. He says, I'm planning on starting a Star Wars opinion channel. Do you have any advice? I don't want to end up like Dark Snovia. That guy is just disgusting. I don't even know who that is, but I'll take your word for it. I would say be true to yourself and be true to the fans. So don't sell yourself out for views. I know that's a big thing on YouTube, and obviously that's kind of like how you get started almost, is to get noticed like that. You kind of got to do some things that are like some edgy topics, and that gets you noticed. But if you just keep doing that forever, that's what you're going to be known as. So my advice would be just stay true to yourself. Make videos about topics you love and you care about. Not necessarily things that you think will get, you know, big views or whatever, but things you actually are passionate about. Because if you're passionate about something, then you're going to do well, and that'll reflect, you know, in everything else. So, okay, in my opinion, the sequel trilogy lacks vision. The first 6 had a vision. 1 to 3 explained the fall of Anakin, and the originals showed redemption of Anakin. 7 to 9, what do they show? I fully agree with you. I guess we won't know until episode 9 comes out, but in my opinion, they are my least favorite of the trilogy. Someone says Solo is a bad Star Wars movie. Okay, so I saw Solo. I really liked it. I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was fun, but at the end of the day, it's Solo. I mean, I don't really, like, I'm not trying to bash anything, but I just really don't care about him. Like, I don't care about Solo. He's a cool supporting character, but he's not someone I'm really invested in or emotionally, you know, care about. Like I do, you know, Anakin, or perhaps, you know, like Vader or Luke or someone else, even Leia. Like, it's just you know, I'd rather see a Boba Fett movie. You know, I want to see a portrayal of the Empire. I want to see a lot more different things in Star Wars than just, you know, these supporting characters. And what I don't like is how, I like and I don't like is how Disney kind of puts in, you know, these cameos of these special characters that we do care about at the ends of the film for maybe, you know, 2 minutes at most. And that's supposed to keep us going for the next movie and the next movie. And I just don't really like that. I'm not really a fan of that. I think, you know, don't tease us. Give us what we want. Give us a full film about everything that we want with these characters. So give us a Darth Maul movie. Give us, you know, a Darth Vader movie like the fan film I'm trying to make in the Kickstarter. Give us, you know, a film about Palpatine and his rise to power, or how he was discovered by Darth Plagueis, or whoever you want to make his master to be now that Plagueis is Legends. You know, I want to see all these different things, but it's like they give us The Last Jedi, and then they make Luke who he was and who he's just totally not, according to character, and then they give us Solo, which is, it was a great film. I loved it. I thought it was really fun, but it's just not interesting. You know, it's really not as interesting as maybe some other characters they could have covered. So I was thinking a great thing they could have done, and I'm going to mention this in tomorrow's video that I've already had made for you guys. They make The Last Jedi, and then they release a film, which, you know, they released Solo, but they could have released, you know, Luke's adventures, or what he was going through, what he did between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. So all throughout meeting Ben, Solo, training him, starting his new Jedi Order. I think that would have made The Last Jedi have so much more depth and so much more almost clairvoyance into what their vision was and what the path is, that it would definitely sit and resonate a lot better with the fans. It would make a lot more sense. But I mean, you're taking us, you know, into the new trilogy, and then you leave it with this cliffhanger where we're like, okay, now 2 years has to pass before we know really what's going to happen, and you kill off the most important character in Star Wars. And then you give us a standalone film about a character that has to do with the character you just killed, best friend, who you also killed. So it's kind of like, why? Like, I don't want to know about this right now. I want to know more about what you made me wonder about, which is what you did in The Last Jedi. So, now some people say you're not going to spoil Solo for me. No, I'm not. I'm not going to spoil Solo. But, yeah. So, that's my thoughts on that. Thanks for the Super Chats, England Rasmussen, and the Marvel Geek. Thank you for your Super Chats, guys. Someone says, I was part of the Solo boycott, been a Star Wars fan for ages, but really don't like Episode 7 and 8. Even though 8 has some good visuals and shots. I agree they need to go back to films for fans. I'm not really a fan of boycotting any Star Wars movie. I understand the point behind it, and I see what they're trying to do, but if you're... I just don't support that. I think, you know, we gotta show support to Star Wars if we like them. If we like a certain... Like, if this was a Darth Maul movie, would there really be a boycott? Probably not. So, I'm thinking, if we really care about something, we're gonna go see it. If we don't care about something, we don't need to boycott it because we just don't care, so we're just not gonna see it. So, it's just a different way of looking at things. One is more negative, and one's a little bit more realistic, which is like, you know what? I don't give a crap about this. I'm not gonna go see it. So, someone says... Lyle Style, thanks for your super chat. He says, good luck with the movie. Love your channel. Thanks, man. Kickstarter down below, guys. Vega Thon with his super chat says, seeing that Solo may not get a sequel and the Boba Fett movie is now in the works, would you like them to continue the story towards the end of Solo in the Fett film, or have Han Orlando appear? That's a good question. I want them to continue Solo only solely because of what happened at the end there, and I'm not going to ruin it for anyone, but yeah, you guys know what I mean if you've seen Solo. I just want to see that ending happen. I want to see, you know, that continue into the next film, and for us to basically understand what's going on. So there's an ambulance going by. I think something's going on here. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. I don't really care about Han Solo. I don't really care about Lando appearing. I don't really care about seeing them in a movie. I just saw this movie because, first of all, well, I love Star Wars. So I want to see everything that they have to do with it. I want to see what direction it's taking. And I want to see where we're going to go from here in terms of where these movies take us. How they're going to end. What they're going to put at the end. Which character they're going to put at the end so that they would lead us to the next one. If they don't continue this, I'd be very surprised. But I guess now that they brought that character back, then, you know, I'm thinking this is good. Maybe they're going to bring him back into other videos or other solo films. Maybe an Obi-Wan film, you know. England Rasmussen. Thanks for your super chat again, man. He says, you have 1.1 million subscribers. Why TF can't everyone just donate $1 to the fanfic and make this happen? Also, I love your work, dude. You are my fave. Thank you, man, and I fully agree with you. You know, tons of people are viewing it. There's like, I think about 200,000 people that have viewed it already, but maybe people just don't believe in the product, or they just, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but this won't be the last of it. You know, if this doesn't get funded, if funding doesn't happen in the next 24 days, which still it can, you know, we can get funding in an hour if we really try, then I have plans, and I won't die. I won't let this vision go so easily into the night. You can be sure of that. One way or another, it's going to happen eventually. I promise you. Okay, so someone said, Marvel Geek, thanks again for your super chat. He says, when will The Last Jedi Part 2 fanfic be released? I've been having a hard time coming up with something just because I'm kind of frustrated with how it did go, and I just want to make something really good. You know, I don't want to make something lazily just to, you know, get it out there and get it for views. I want to make something really good. You know, the part 1, I was really feeling it, and, you know, it shows. It was some of my, I don't want to know if it was my best work, but it definitely something I tried hard at and worked hard on. So that video itself took about 18 hours to make, you know, over the course of a few days, and I want to make sure I have the patience to make a part 2, because I want to make part 2 really good. So just bear with me on that. Patience, my friend. Thanks for your question, though, and for caring about fanfic too. As proved by Anakin Skywalker, once again, says, thoughts on people who still dwell on Jar Jar. If you're still dwelling on Jar Jar, then I say, you know, we got a new cat in town, that's Rose Tico, so you can start thinking about her more. Jana Sari, thank you for your super chat. Claude M, I hope I'm saying your name right. With his super chat, or her super chat, they say, I wish The Last Jedi would be a Force vision that Luke sees once he... once he handed the saber. We'd see episode 9 start the same way 7 ended. I have had that vision in my mind so many times since I saw The Last Jedi. I'm like, hey, what if we just have, you know, episode 9 start with Luke waking up from a bad dream? Wouldn't that be cool? Like, that would be sweet. I would love for that to happen. You know, I'm not saying The Last Jedi was bad. It had beautiful cinematography. It was great. I liked the acting, but there were just a lot of parts of it that just didn't seem Star Warsy to me. There was too many jokes. Like, we even had a mama joke in there, which was like, what is this? Like, what are we doing? Luke Skywalker was not Luke Skywalker. He was just someone else. And, you know, even as Mark Hamill says, and Mark Hamill himself says that he was playing Jake Skywalker. I mean, that says something right there, you know? So, next question. Username 159 with a super chat. Thanks, dude. But how can they use the ending cameo in a sequel without breaking the lore? You mean in Solo? Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that. So, I guess we got a lot to see from here. I mean, I don't have the answer to that because it's not in my hands. It's in Disney's and Lucasfilm's, so, which is, you know, controlled by Disney. So I guess we'll see from here. But it's obviously a good thing that's happening because, you know, that cameo happened. Pete Spine, thank you for super chat. Parker Juan McNobe. Parker Juan McNobe, thank you for your super chat. What role will you play in your fan film? Perhaps a Jedi? I can't reveal that. I can't reveal that. There's a lot about the script that I cannot reveal. Like, I co-wrote it with the director, and also one other guy helped with the dialogue. Both extremely talented people in the business, and you know, these aren't just regular people. These are both people who have their masters, that have gone to school for writing and screenplay and directing and all this stuff. So it's not just actually the director went to the same school that Rian Johnson went to, which, you know, depending on The Last Jedi, I don't know if that's good or bad for you, but I guarantee you his vision is very much on par with mine, which is why I'm working with him. He's a great person to work with. But you will see once the fan film comes out, which it will come out. I fully promise you that one way or another it will come out. You know, we're just gonna need your help. So go to the Kickstarter link down below. Share it around. There's actually one guy in the States. I guess most of you guys are from the States, that is printing out flyers for the fan film and posting them all around his school to go and donate to the Kickstarter. I mean, even if this thing doesn't get funded, which I'm hoping it does, that kind of support is something that I couldn't even fathom. Like this is bigger than all of us, and I am truly humbled by that. For someone to do that is just, it's beyond me. It shows that you guys really want this, and it, you know, it makes me emotional to think about. So it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna let you guys down. The ones who have donated, obviously you won't be charged if we won't reach funding, but at the end of the day, you know, there's always going to be a plan B, and I'm working on it. So we'll see what happens from here. After the 24 days, I'll make a video, and whether it gets funded or not, you'll know. And the steps leading up to that or going after that, I will announce. So next question. Evolve Zed with his super chat says, just wanted to tell you that on the thank you site, you added the quotation marks to my name. You can remove them if you want. My name is Evolve Z. Okay, will do. Thanks, man. I didn't add that. That would be my webmaster, who's also Emperor Palpatine on the chat there. So, oh yeah. Okay, that needs to be changed. I'm gonna let him know after this live stream. Thanks for telling me, man. So, for those who have seen Solo, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Like, were you disappointed? What would you have rather have seen? So let's get to some more super chats here and some more questions. Okay, so Force Master with his super chat. In sequel, Jabba and Maul could be crime rivals. Possible. Dylan Hilliard, love your work. I really like the vision and goal you have. I look forward to seeing the progress of it. Thanks, Dylan. I really appreciate that support, man. Christopher Duke, how much is needed for the fan film? Also, wouldn't Disney have a problem in using their properties? Love the vids. Keep it up. Okay, well, first of all, the fan film is budgeted at 1.1 million Canadian, and this is to give you a full-fledged, big fan film with tons of scenes taking place, you know, so many different sets that have to be built. Everything is in the Kickstarter link below. As for Disney suing us, they can't because we are not selling anything. This is no different than me making a fan fiction. You know, it's not, there's no profit going into this, or that I'm getting out of this. If there was, then, you know, I'd be liable, and that would be illegal. So there's nothing being sold. There's no Star Wars memorabilia, there's no movies. We're not going to sell tickets. Like, this is going to be for free on my YouTube channel. Like, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, so I mean, of course they could put a stop to anything they want because they have that power and they have that right, but for them to do that, I think would cause a bit of an uproar in the community, and I definitely wouldn't be happy with it, seeing as how this will only benefit them. It'll only make them more popular. So we have a good year and a half now until episode 9 comes out, and I want to create something fun in that time. As pooped by Anakin Skywalker, thanks again for your super chat, man. He says, whose legacy do you think will be remembered more fondly, Lucas or Kennedy? For me, Lucas. Personally, I blame the prequel retractors for this mess. I can't say who will be remembered more fondly, but George Lucas will always be the man. He will always be the one who started this, and I think he should always have that support and that respect until the end of time. So, next question. Vegathon again. Writing a script of my own. It is non-Star Wars related thriller. Can you say what software you used to type it? I use Notes. You know, on Mac, I just use the notepad. I just type everything there. That's it. Parker 1 McNoby. What is the hardest challenge you faced as a YouTuber? Well, it's a big question. Definitely in the beginning, not getting the outreach that I wanted. You know, I would put hours and hours and hours into my videos, and I would, you know, create the same, you know, just about the same type of quality as I output today, which is supposedly the most popular from you guys. I mean, you look at the sub number, and that's kind of an indication right there. And I take pride in that. But in the beginning, you know, I would see other channels that were much more popular, and they would put out the most clickbait stuff that I've ever seen. The question from the title was never answered in the video. The thumbnail had nothing to do with the actual video itself. It was completely photoshopped from, you know, another movie that, you know, like Gremlins or like Jurassic Park or something, like something taken from a different movie entirely, like Back to the Future or something, and morphed into Star Wars. And to me, I just found that so... It just left a bad taste in my mouth. And they would get all these views and this outreach, and my work would get, you know, just a few thousand. And it really hurt, but it didn't stop me because I had a vision. And that vision has been seen through today. And now I have a new vision, which is to make this fan film. And I will not stop. I will not stop until it happens. So, you can count on me. There are a lot of challenges that I've faced as a YouTuber. Copyright, this and that. You know, other YouTubers trying to put slander to you, saying you say things or do things that you don't mean. Like you get it all, and I guess it just builds your skin to be tougher. But it happens. Yo Squiggly Man with a super chat says, "Love the Mace shirt. Let's make Maul an antagonist. I miss the Force saber battles. A lot of blaster battles. If I wanted to watch Star Trek, I would. I fully agree with you. Everything is just about blasters now. Like, where are the lightsaber battles? That's the main thing that Star Wars is known for, is lightsaber battles and the Force. Like, what is going on here? It's not right." So, I agree with you, buddy. Maybe one day, huh? Maybe in this fan film. Kickstarter link below. Natalie Young says, "Could you say your email? I messaged you on Instagram but didn't get a reply. I have some questions, comments. My email is starwarstheory66@gmail.com. So on Instagram, I have to like message accept or I get message requests or something like that. There's like, I think there's like over 10,000 or something at this point. I don't even know, but it just keeps refreshing and people just keep sending messages. So it's almost like the live chat here without a slow mode. So there's a 1 minute slow mode here. So if you typed something, you can't type in anything else for another minute, which, you know, maybe that's actually too long. So let's change that to 30 seconds. So, yeah. Yeah, so I guess that would be the issue with Instagram and, you know, all social media like that. So, next question. Jacob Weston. Thanks for your super chat, man. He says, "It feels like Disney are scared to go full out on the new Star Wars movies for us nerds because they want to keep it basic for a non-nerd to enjoy and understand it. Sad." I gotta agree with you there. And I want them to go all out, because they have that money, they have that power, they have, you know, all the resources they need to get there, but they're just not. Yet, with Marvel movies, they're doing that. So I don't really understand. I'm just kind of confused. Like, how can they do that with the Marvel films, but they can't do that with Star Wars? It's just they're staying so conservative. They're giving us these little tidbits at the end there that are just giving us, you know, a little bit of fun here or there, like, you know, Vader at the end of Rogue One, or, you know, the cameo scene at the end of Solo. And it's like, why? Like, just give us a film about all of it. I'm not going to do this puzzle right now. I won't even be able to reply to messages, so I don't know why I clicked that. Oh, man. Okay. So, let's just look at some thumbnails, I guess. Matt Agosta says, donated $125 Canadian. Emailed you about helping out more. Thanks, man. I got to check my emails. I got like 1,000 unread there because they just keep coming in every day. And there's no one here for Star Wars Theory other than me. So I do everything. I check the emails. I check the messages. I do all the thumbnails. Everything is me. I just don't really like anyone else handling this, you know, other than myself. Other than, you know, the director and all that for the fan film, but that's different. Jay Ledge with a super chat. Thanks for the 20 bucks, man. He says, how did you get in touch with the director, writers, and other people involved with this movie? The director emailed me last June or July, and I was like, oh yeah, it's a cool idea, you know, and he said, I saw in your one of your videos, you mentioned that you want to do a Vader fan film, and I'm like, yeah, I do. And he's like, let me know if, you know, you're interested in this, and we can go from there. I'm a director. I got my master's in, you know, screenwriting and directing and all that, from the same school that Ryan Johnson got his at, and his mentor is Simon Crane, who did a lot of the scenes for Vader. Actually, he did the main scene for Vader in Rogue One, at the end of Rogue One, and he did all the action scenes there, the directing scenes and all that. So I was very interested, and I kind of just, you know, put the email off to the side, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm too small for this right now. Maybe when I have 1 million subs. That's the goal. So now we're here 1 million subs later, and this is, you know, I'm trying to make this happen. But I need you guys. So I need you guys to go check out the link below in the Kickstarter and donate, you know, whatever you have. The price of a movie ticket. If just 8% of us donated, I've said this 1 million times, if 8% of us donated, the fan film would be funded, and we would see something truly amazing. But the power is in you guys. It's in your hands. So I'm going to leave that to you. Now, as for the next question. Oh, and Jay, he has contacts with all the professionals in the business. So guys who work on like big time movies that, you know, I'll mention later on, but yeah, he's got all those connections. I don't have those connections. I mean, I get emails from people like that, but yeah. Next question. Kayla says, sorry you didn't like The Last Jedi. It was my first introduction to Star Wars and got me completely hooked. Keep up the amazing channel. Hey, I am so happy that you are hooked into Star Wars and that movie, you know, got you into it. But if you can kind of understand, it's like you have this. What would you do if Superman, who let's say is, you know, a little boy's idol, starts eating kryptonite to make himself weak, turns from this hopeful hero into this sad hermit that runs away from fights and is fearful of pretty much everything, and has just run away to some planet eating this kryptonite to die. What would you do? This image of hope that you have had your whole life is now this image of melancholy and just sadness and just not who he was, not who you grew up knowing. If that was who he was from the beginning, would he still be your hero? So that is one reason why a lot of people are having a problem with The Last Jedi, including myself. Other than that, yeah, the acting was great, the cinematography was great, but we as humans, we need more. We need hope. And this is something that translates into our lives. So we look to these characters for this kind of hope. And that's just something that The Last Jedi failed for me, which is unfortunate. But I'm happy that it got you into Star Wars, because at the end of the day, it still was a beautiful film. Kyle Rowling, thanks for your 20 bucks, but you didn't ask me a question. Username 159. Hey again. What is the one non-movie Star Wars thing you hope Disney does? Unblacklist David Prowse from official events, personally. The non-movie Star Wars thing you hope Disney does. Yeah, I'd say unblacklist David Prowse, because he should have access to all the events. He should have access to going to Comic-Con and all that stuff, because he is Darth Vader. You know, there are two people who make Darth Vader, and that's David Prowse and then James Earl. So I don't think it's very fair that he gets that kind of a branding. Apparently, you know, he got blacklisted or something because he like leaked something from The Empire Strikes Back or something like that. I don't know the full story, but that's what I read and hear. Correct me if I'm wrong. But apparently it wasn't even him who leaked it. It was someone else, and then they blamed it on him, and then he was just cast as this dude who leaked something from the film. And then they just, like, completely disowned him. So, you know, bring him back. He's an old guy now. He is Vader. I think he should be, you know, allowed at the events. He should get that power. He should get that experience. And the fans should get to see him too. But most of all, I want Ewan McGregor casted as Obi-Wan. So the next, that's weird. The next super chat is by Obi-Wan Kenobi, waiting for What If Qui-Gon Trained Anakin Part 3. That's an old one, man. That's probably one of my first fan fictions ever. And I'm going to have to redo, I think, Part 2 because I'm not really feeling it anymore. I'm not really feeling how I did that one. So I'm going to go back and fix that one. Matt Agosta. Your Last Jedi fanfic was awesome. Part 2 soon? Part 2 soon, man. I'm just taking my time with it. Letting the creative juices flow, you know. I want it to be really something truly special. Nathan Spiller. Can you discuss the L3 storyline? To me, the inclusion felt forced into the story, plus it was never asked for. So you mean the droid from Solo? I thought she was funny. It felt a little forced. I don't think we really needed that in there. The part about Lando being, you know, like, intimate with this robot or wanting to be intimate with this robot is just, I don't know. Lando is a ladies' man. So at the end of the day, I guess he just wants to get with everything. So to me, it was kind of funny. I didn't really see it as a big deal, but whatever, you know. As for her part in the storyline, I guess the point was basically to have her be the brain of the well, I don't want to give things away, but be the brain of you know what. So that was probably the point of it, and so now it's like a little backstory. So whenever we see that ship, we'll be like, oh yeah, okay, so that's, you know, she's in there. The Jurassic Channel. Thanks for your super chat, but you didn't ask a question. So some normal chats here. Was Shaka Phillips asked, do you find the First Order and the Resistance pointless as their Empire and Rebels? The sequel trilogy should have had a revolutionary Civil War type of war. Absolutely agree. I think the Resistance and First Order are, like, I just want to keep saying Rebels and Imperials. Like, that's all I want to say. Because I just don't, like, why do they have a new name? And now they're Rebels again? It's like, what was the point then? Lando said the S word during the Kessel Run. Did he? I don't remember that. That would be crazy if he did. That would be the first time in a Star Wars movie. I thought it was hilarious, spoiler alert, that she's now forever enslaved in the Falcon. Yeah, I agree. Can you do What If Palps Killed Luke? Yes. So let's get back onto the topic of the video. So, do you guys have any questions about Solo? For me, it was great. It was fun. But at the end of the day, the reason I don't think it's, you know, doing as well as Disney may have wanted is because it's Solo. You know, it's a character that is cool, but at the end of the day, people aren't really invested in him. They don't really care as much. He's just Solo. Like, it's fun for what it is, but I mean, give us something else. You know, give us like Luke Skywalker in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. Something like that. Kayla says, I do get why people don't like The Last Jedi. It's sad what the movie has done to so many fans who have been so dedicated. Star Wars should only make people happy. I fully agree with you there. I think The Last Jedi has divided a lot of people, and it's not for no reason. Let me ask you this. You don't see the Marvel fans divided, do you? At least not to the extent Star Wars is right now. And that is kind of sad. So, on another note, Kickstarter down below. I haven't voted here, but I guess I'm only signed in as a guest, or not signed in at all. So, how pumped are you about the upcoming Darth Vader fan film? I gotta make him change that to fan film, because that would be illegal, because it's not a movie, it's a fan film. Bring it on, I'm on the fence. It's not something for me. Whoever says that, like, who doesn't want to see Vader in an all-out duel? Oh, 2% of people, but only 269 votes, so go vote right now. Let me know what you guys think. Go to StarWarsTheory.com, go to this page, and go vote. Let's see if we can get that number up. See if your vote can do something for it. I'm trying to get some games for the chat for the start site too. Some like, you know, Flash games and stuff like that. The Mr. Pete channel. If 9 opens on Jumanji 3, episode 9 won't make $1 billion. I don't know. I think episode 9 will make $1 billion just on the fact that it is continuing the story and it's the last one. Unless they do a part 1, part 2. So what do you guys think is going on in this scene here? Someone says, the next anthology film should not be directly connected to the OT characters or stories. Disney needs to make something genuinely fresh and never before seen. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we've got the Game of Thrones writers making, you know, a new series of movies. We've got Rian Johnson making a new trilogy. We've got Boba Fett movie coming. We've got an Obi-Wan movie coming. I don't know what else is coming after that. I mean, we've got some shows. But from what I've seen from the shows so far, they're like not exciting at all. It's just like the Resistance ships or something. I don't know. It didn't interest me. This is what Star Wars is about. This right here. This is what I want to see. I want to see brutal force domination between powerful characters. You know, not blaster fights. That's Star Trek, as someone said earlier. That's just not what I'm interested in. That's not what I care about. And I think a lot of fans aren't really interested in seeing a lot of blaster fire and, you know, comic jokes. They want to see some real gritty stuff. They want to see some stuff go down. They want to see a lot of heartfelt moments, a lot of emotion, not just cool cinematography or nice scenes or whatever. They want to see some very crazy things happen. Like, for example, this scene right here. This right here is like you just can't replicate it. You can't make that again. Even their dialogue here, where they're just talking, that's something that we didn't ever get in the new trilogy. You know, there's just so much emotion that is being built up to this moment, and it's actually taken place over the last almost 40 years because we got episode 4 to 6, and then 1 to 3, and this moment here is basically all of that accumulation into one. So it's like, yikes. You know, like, obviously that's going to be a very, very emotional scene. And then, of course, Anakin Skywalker becomes Darth Vader, and then, you know, the rest is history. Palpatine comes and picks him up. Here I think he's applying, you know, some sort of force drain or force, I don't want to say force heal because that's a Jedi power, but he's doing something to sustain Vader's life for sure. Hey Groot, what's going on, man? Groot was one of the Force Effects lightsaber winners. His picture is up on the Instagram. He says, let Kathleen Kennedy audition for your movie. She would make a... Oh man, that... next question. BB Brick says, I effing love your content. Will Brex says, thanks dude. Will Breck says, I think Disney needs to do what they do with Marvel, adding small Easter eggs and EU cameos. Soontir and Solo would have been amazing. I agree. They need to start doing that for sure. The Easter eggs, I mean, they do these little cameos at the end there, but I think it's not enough. I think the fans are kind of going to see these movies almost just for the cameos at the end, and that's just not really what we're wanting at this point. We want to see more than that. We want to see, you know, we want to see a whole movie about these characters. I want to see an entire movie of action and of dialogue and of everything that, you know, should be going on that really we're not getting. And it's unfortunate because I feel that, like, there's just so much more depth to these films and to these characters that just aren't being explored. By the way, BB Brick 649, thanks again for your comment, man. I really appreciate that. Vigilant Slayer says, I just broke up with my girlfriend today and I'm in a horrible mood, but this is helping, so thank you, Star Wars Theory. Hey, Vigilant Slayer, thank you, man. I'm glad we could all be there for you. Everyone, just tell Vigilant Slayer that he's going to be okay. Just comment right now. We've all gone through breakups. They suck. But you know what? There's always something better coming for you next time. I guarantee you. I promise you. The will of the Force will show its way, my friend. Always trust in the Force. Always trust in the Force. Believe me. And if you don't, then this is the video for you. The Brick Prince. I made an edit of my friend named Cole on Twitter. Okay. Cool. Tweet it to me. David Beard. Disney can't be subtle about their agenda. Yeah, I agree with that. D-Back says, if they can clone soldiers, why not Jedi? That has been explored in with Starkiller in The Force Unleashed. Cloning Force sensitives is a bit difficult because it just doesn't work out all the time. Sometimes they just won't be as powerful, or they won't even be Force sensitive at all. And that's why Vader had to make so many until he actually got Starkiller. So, yeah. That would be cool, though, but it's different. It's different than just cloning, you know, soldiers. C. Groot says, just broke up with my fiance as well. It sucks, but it will get better. Dude, no! Wasn't she the one that was writing all the, helping you write all the funny comments? You know what? Like, it happens. And that's part of life, and you move on. I don't want to make this a relationship channel, but I've definitely had my fair share of, you know, experiences with that. But just, you know, take your example here. Look at Vader. He just doesn't care. He just does what he needs to do and uses that pain to keep him going. And if that's something that you can do in your life to turn this negative emotion into a positive and realize that it's not just you know, that misses maybe the person, you know, as we can miss pretty much anything that we put energy into, such as like a stuffed animal or something like that. It's basically you needing to rewire yourself and change your routine. That's all it is. So that's all I want to say about relationships there. But I know you guys, it seems like there's a lot of you that are going through some breakups and stuff, so you can get through it. Don't worry about that. Yeah, the comps are out from here. Someone says, I want more Clone Wars. Yeah, me too. I wish they would finish the whole series. Corey Dorton's also going through a breakup. Man, there's a lot of you going through a breakup here. It's terrible. The Brick Prince just tweeted it to you. Okay, cool. Thanks, man. I'll check after this live stream. Blazer Frozenoff says, your thoughts on doing a Darth Bane fan film? I would love to, but you know what? First, I want to get funded for this Vader Kickstarter, which... link in the description below. Timify says, can I email you... Hey, buddy, I haven't seen you in a while. Can I email you for my ideas as how Tarkin can be in the fan film? Yes, you can. Clayton Fioriti says, hey, dude, I plan on donating on the fan film soon. Let's make this happen. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Just share it with everyone that you can. You know, we got 24 days left, and we've raised over $40,000 in just, what is it now, 6 days? So, you know, we can do this. We can get out there. It can happen. Jay Ledge says, I'm calling it now. The movie will take off. It will become huge. You'll grab the attention of Lucasfilm. They will hire you, and you'll save the Star Wars movies. Well, wouldn't that be something? That would be nice. Thank you for your support and in you believing in me and that kind vision. Thank you very much. Someone says, what do you think the box office will end at for Solo? I don't know, but that's the thing many people are wondering about. Could this be the first Star Wars movie that actually loses money? That will be the first time in history. So, is that sending a message to Disney? I don't know. Is that telling... You know, I don't think Solo was bad. I had a lot of fun during the film. I was smiling a lot. I really enjoyed it. It was very nostalgic. I loved the movie. I actually enjoyed it more than The Last Jedi. And I hope it makes over $1 billion. I think Ron Howard is a really brilliant director. I think he did a great job. The actors all acted great. It was really good. But it's just not... When you're making this movie after a movie that divided so many people and angered so many people, it's not something that is gonna, you know, make people rushing to the to the theater or pre-ordering their tickets. You know, when I went to see Solo, the theater was pretty empty. It wasn't filled at all, which is a first time for me for a Star Wars movie. Yogi Bear says, I thought Solo was great. I loved it. Me too. I loved it too. It was an awesome movie. And I think everyone should go see it. Alarion says, will the fan film include any unseen stuff from Revenge of the Sith? Yes. The Mr. Pete channel says, what will be the official name of your film? Will it have a subtitle? For now, it's just Vader, a Star Wars theory fan film. Gary says, love your channel, by far the best content on YouTube. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Nico says, have you played the KOTOR games, and what do you think of them? Yeah, I played them a lot when I was younger. I haven't played them since. I loved them. I thought they were awesome. I loved how you could, like, become anyone you wanted in the game. Obviously, I was training to be a Jedi, and, you know, getting your crystal and all that stuff. It was just, it was really cool, and it's stuff you don't see today. Mikey wants me to reveal a spoiler. I don't know if I should do that. It would. Well, he doesn't want me to reveal a spoiler, but he's gonna make me reveal a spoiler if I keep going here. So, what are your thoughts on the Obi-Wan film? What do you think it will be about? That's a great question. Okay, so the Obi-Wan film, that is something that I want to see more than anything out there. I think that should take place as Obi-Wan, you know, leaves Luke with Owen and Beru. I think it should take place where, you know, he's searching for his new hut, for his new home, where he's going to be living, the friends or the enemies he makes on Tatooine. Him, you know, in the canon comics, he goes through Tatooine basically as this deserter, as this wanderer, and he fights sand people just to stay in shape without his lightsaber, and with, you know, so it doesn't draw attention, you know, but just to stay in shape, he's fighting sand people, and you know, he's basically going through keeping an eye on Luke 24/7 almost. And that is a part of Kenobi that I really want to see. But more so about him and his inner demons. You know, he saw his best friend burn alive. He saw the most dark things that could have happened to the Jedi Order take place before him. And that's the stuff I want to see him battle with. You know, not so much just like fighting and this and that. I really want to see story. I really want to see emotions being elicited, you know, by the viewer. I want to see a movie that makes you, you know, tear up and just feel things. You know, something beyond just like, oh my god, this nostalgic character is back. I want to see more of it. Like, no, I want to see this character's depths. I want to see him put to his limit, you know, mentally, physically. I want to see him break. I want to see how much can this guy take. And that's something that I've co-written in my Vader fan film. That's something that we're going to see and that we've never ever seen before. So, yeah, that's what I would want to see in an Obi-Wan film. Nicholas Hopper says, is there anything from Legends that you want Disney to make canon again or want to see in the next film? Something from Legends that I want Disney to make canon. Yeah, I want to make Luke Skywalker canon again. The real Luke Skywalker, you know? This Luke Skywalker. Funny enough, he's playing on screen right now. This Luke Skywalker is the one I want to see. This cool, calm, collected Luke. You know? Not the one we got. And that's just unfortunate, but onwards we go, right? What can we do? That's what we've been given, and we just got to keep moving forwards. At least we have the first 6 movies. That's great. And I actually really like The Force Awakens too. And I liked The Last Jedi, I just didn't like what they did to Luke. So I hope he comes back in Episode 9, you know, full throttle. Charlie's Angels too. Rebels Assemble says, what if Yoda discovered Palpatine? Your thoughts? If Yoda discovered Palpatine, then I think what would have happened is... Like, you mean before Revenge of the Sith? I know they all had their doubts about Palpatine, but I don't think they thought that he was, you know, a Sith Lord. But I know they all, you know, had their suspicions. So if he would have found him before Revenge of the Sith, I think he would have gone into the files somehow, or at least like spied on him or something like that to see, you know, where does he go in his downtime? What does he do? You know, and I know the Sith temple beneath the Jedi temple that, you know, was built on this Sith temple was clouding their judgments. And that was something that was always, you know, ruining his ability to know exactly who Palpatine was. And, of course, Palpatine was disguising himself and his Force powers. But at the end of the day, I think if Yoda knew, he would have taken all the Jedi Masters to go and basically stop him. Basically, you know, just how Mace Windu did, but he would have just gone to his office and said, like, hey, what are you doing? Or he would have caught him for something. There would have been something somewhere in the storyline. And I think that would have been, you know, pretty cool to see, because then we would have seen Palpatine fight them all. And it would be different. It would definitely be different. I mean, Palpatine took out 3 Jedi Masters in under 10 seconds. Like, these were some of the most powerful Jedi Masters on the Council. He just took them out in 10 seconds. Like, while fighting all of them. So you can tell how powerful he was. And that's one reason why Vader never messed with him. Or at least never tried. Timothy says, Palpatine versus Maleficent. Who would win? I think Palpatine. I think Palpatine was the most powerful Sith to have ever lived. Especially in Legends. I know a lot of people say vitiate, but I don't know. I think Palpatine in his prime, you know, if he was like truly angry and his like Legends power, I think he was just unstoppable. Kind of like what Luke became in Legends as well. I mean, he was like flying through space. Rebels Assemble says, sorry, I meant discovered as a child. Oh, what if Yoda discovered Palpatine as a child? So what if Palpatine was a Jedi? I think he would have trained him, but Palpatine had too much anger in him. Just like Anakin, it wouldn't have ended well. There would have been something where, you know, fate would have taken its proper turn, and he would have turned into a Sith. But he would have had the training of a Jedi. Like, that would be... he would have unlocked everything. Everything. And it just would have been so freaky. But it would have been cool to see. Mace says with his super chat, I dabbed so hard it caused an imbalance in the Force, causing the eradication of the dead. Alright. Well, yeah, I guess Anakin didn't have a hand in Order 66 then in that case. Let's read some other questions here. The film's live-action shows I want to see is Obi-Wan, Old Republic, Ancient Jedi, and Sith Wars and Mandalorian Wars. You got my vote there. You know, something that I really like to see? I'm going to show over here. Something like this. I want to see a film like this. Like, this is stuff we don't see in movies. Like, when do we ever see that kind of stuff? That would be so freaking cool to see. Just 2 Jedi and Sith, like, you know, just going at it. Full rage, and, oh my god, I just would love to see that. And this is what my fan film will look like, by the way. But with live action, with real people. It won't be animated. So, links in the description. Go check it out. What if the Sand People were hired assassins by Palpatine? I think they were. And I'm trying to find a part in the book that actually says that they were. Tweet to Mark Hamill about the film. Yeah, if you guys right now can do something for me, hit like on this video to support the channel. And also go tweet Samuel Jackson or Mark Hamill about the Kickstarter for the Vader fan film. We just need one tweet from one of these guys that they support it or they want to see it. Maybe Sam Jackson, because you guys tweeted Mark Hamill last time. And, you know, he's probably not allowed to do anything or tweet it, so... I know Sam Jackson is very involved in fan films and wanting, you know, his character to be brought back. So maybe go tweet him, comment on his stuff, be like, hey, like, Star Wars Theory is trying to bring back, you know, Mace Windu to fight Vader in an all-out crazy duel. Here's the link to the Kickstarter. Can you share it? Because we need your help. You are our only hope. Maybe he'll do it. That's all we need. You know, my director of the fan film has contacted his agent, and I'm willing to pay him to even tweet it, because we just need people out there that don't know about the film yet, or maybe, you know, aren't sure about it and they kind of need a little bit of a nudge. So, tweet the real Mace Windu. So if we hit the budget, the fan film comes out in December. But if we don't, then we'll see what happens. We'll see what we'll have to do. Will we see a Star Wars game announced at E3? I hope we get a good game announced at E3. I hope so. Battlefront's cool and all, but I mean, I want something with story. You know? Maul, a Star Wars story. Thoughts? Yes, that is exactly what we need and exactly what I want to see. I don't want to see, you know, these side characters that, yeah, they're cool, but they'd only be cool if we got, you know, something that we wanted to see, and then we'd be like, oh yeah, you know, I want to see Solo too, or I want to see, I don't know. You know what we need? We need a movie about clones. I think that would be really cool to see too. Jet Blast 190 says, what do you think of Solo bringing Exar Kun into canon, and where might he fit in the Disney continuity? Hope this little donation helps your fan film. Rich, thanks. If you guys want to donate to the fan film, donate in the Kickstarter below. You guys won't be charged unless we hit our target. But thank you for donating regardless. What do I think of Solo bringing Exar Kun into canon? Yeah, so I saw he's in the visual guide. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I don't know if they're just doing that to make the fans happy or not, or if they're actually going to like do something with that in the future. I think everything has a purpose with Disney. I think they're going to, you know, hopefully do something with that. I don't know why they would just bring that into canon and, you know, not do anything. So, that'd be sweet if he is. Where it would fit into the continuity, I think they're going to make a video, and I think that's why they got the Game of Thrones directors to make their own movies for Star Wars, is because they specialize in, you know, like, older times, ancient times, you know, medieval times, and that's exactly where Knights of the Old Republic falls into place. So I think maybe, you know, he could come back in the movies. Tylo, thanks for your $1. Rebels Assemble, thanks again for your super chat. I think it's the third one you've given me now. He says, if Yoda trained Mace and Palpatine, who'd be stronger? Ooh. Well, okay. George Lucas has said that Mace fair and square beat Palpatine. But I don't care. I just will never buy it. I just think that Palpatine fully, you know, surrendered his power. And I think he lost on purpose. Because if he didn't, then Anakin, you know, wouldn't have shown up and wouldn't have had a reason to be tempted to turn to the dark side. Because he would want to save Mace. Because Palpatine would be, you know, trying to kill him. And I think that would have just gone against Palpatine's whole plan. So I think there was just more to it than that. And I think George just isn't really explaining it fully. But at the end of the day, that's what he says. So what George says is what goes. They're going to make a movie about Boba Fett, yes. And I hope they cast Daniel Logan, which is the original Little Boba in Attack of the Clones. The Mr. Pete's channel says, notice me, senpai. Was Maul's death wasted in Rebels? He had to die at some point. I would have liked to have seen him... The death was very beautiful and it was very good, but I would have liked to have seen him fight Vader. I think that would have made Vader look so much more cool if he fought Maul and killed him. But still, you know, the duel was beautiful and it was great. Laura says... My life as a teenage Jabba the Hutt movie. Yeah, sure. I'm down for that. A Jabba the Hutt movie would be cool, but once again, only if we get something where we're actually really excited about, you know? Like, I mean, I don't want to be let down. I want to see more. I want to see fight scenes, you know? I want to see stuff like this. This is what I want to see. This kind of stuff. Not, you know... whatever else that we've been getting. I just think there's just so much more to it that we could be given, you know? We'll see what happens. I believe in Disney. I believe in Lucasfilm. You know, we've got another 10 years of Star Wars, they say, and probably forever, because Star Wars is always going to make them money, and there's always going to be fans, so even if they, like, Order 66 all the original fans, they're going to have new fans who their movies will cater to them. So it really doesn't matter in their eyes what they do. Because eventually we're all going to pretty much die out, right? And they're going to have new fans. And that's the Star Wars that these people are going to know, and they won't be invested in the old characters like I or you or, some others are. Some of the even older guys who grew up with the original trilogy. So I was born in 1990. I'm 28. I obviously saw the original trilogy first when I was 6 in 1996. And then when Phantom Menace came out in 99, I believe it was, then I started becoming super invested in the prequel trilogy because that was, my time. I was 9 years old when it came out, and then I was a teenager when Episode 3 came out. A. LeMayo, #Spider, says, what about a General Grievous movie? I'd be down with that too. You know why? Because it would show Palpatine and Count Dooku turning General Grievous into General Grievous as a cyborg. So that whole thing was planned by Palpatine to basically use the cybernetics of the Empire and use him as this guinea pig to see how far they could take this being and make him this cyborg. And that's exactly what they did. So, and then they made him the leader of the droid army. Force Master says, Clone Wars Maul versus Episode 3 Anakin. Who wins? Episode 3 Anakin. Episode 3 Anakin for sure. Episode 3 Anakin at the end, where he's like enraged and like Padme's death is there, and like that Anakin. Because Clone Wars Maul would be a tough guy to fight. Matthew Hansen, I agree with you. With The Last Jedi, it made a lot of fans not want to see Solo. Also agree about the Obi-Wan film. I would love to see the very conflicted Obi-Wan Kenobi. You got that, man. Yeah, I want to see a very, very conflicted Obi-Wan. I want to see, not just... I want to see these characters out of their comfort zone. And that's what would make a good film. I want to see them suffer. And then I want to see them overcome that. And that's what we got in Infinity War. And that's why so many Marvel fans are happy, because they're like, oh my god, like, what's going to happen now? These heroes are always with it. They always have the answer. They always save the day. But now there's someone who's this big baddie that comes in, and he can't. Like, they can't save the day. So what are they going to do? And that's exactly what needs to happen with Star Wars. So we need to have these characters basically go through that. We want to see Obi-Wan broken. We want to see, I want to see Mace Windu, how he became a Jedi Master on film. I want to see Palpatine, how he became a Sith on film. I want to see all these characters, Qui-Gon Jinn, Count Dooku, all that. All those need to happen. And I think I'm going to start doing live streams. So type yes right now if you think I should start doing live streams about each episode, each movie that I think should happen, like an Obi-Wan movie, and then we can all talk about it. Or, a Count Dooku movie, we can all talk about it, and things like that. I think that would be fun. That'd be good. Someone says, your film is canon or legend? I'm hoping that it's going to be canon. Well, it can't officially be canon because it's not made by Disney, but it will fall in the canon timeline. So it seems like people want me to do those live streams. Okay, so that's cool. We can do that. And if you haven't supported by hitting like, do that. Go on the Kickstarter, check it out. If you want to donate, the price of a movie ticket, go for it. That's all we need. 8% of you to donate, and then we're in. Then we can get something truly amazing. Still not too late. We got 3 weeks. A little over 3 weeks. Rebels Assemble. Hey, bro. He says, Force Battle. Palpatine versus Snoke. Who's stronger? Well, we don't know yet. But probably Snoke, since he's supposed to be stronger. But, I mean, from what we know of Palpatine, Palpatine. Because we've only seen him. We haven't seen the other guy. We haven't seen Snoke, really. Count Dooku does need redemption. I agree. I love covering Count Dooku videos. How often do you watch the Star Wars movies? Not really often, because I've watched them so much as a kid that they're just, like, I've memorized them. And making these videos every day, it's like I'm watching clips all... I find myself sometimes watching the clips over and over again on YouTube, and when I should just be like completing the video, I just end up actually watching the clips, which is kind of funny. But Jay Ledge says, will you get any sponsors for the fan film? I'd like to, but no one's really come forwards yet. Maybe not enough people know about it. I'm not sure. Jake Boy says, you have a good voice. Thanks, man. I didn't know I ever did. I just, yeah, not until you guys told me. That's good that it's soft on the ears. Goldfish says, how about a TV show named Stories, where it has lots of stories in Star Wars universe? That'd be cool. I'd like to see that. I'm pretty much down for anything at this point. I just want to see something, you know, legit. Something good. You know, one fan film that's actually really good is this one. Darth Maul Apprentice, a Star Wars fan film. I think you guys should go check this out on YouTube. It's a really good one. It was done really well. I haven't seen anything like this before, but my fan film will, of course, it will be good. I guarantee it. It will be good. It will be very different. It will be full of action and everything you want to see. So go and check that out. Go and check this one out. It's a really good fan film. It's called Darth Maul Apprentice. Can you do a video on a fanfic episode 9? Yeah, sure I could, but I mean, it's a little too early for that, no? Do you think? Can you do a video on fanfic? Yeah, I would think so. I mean, it's such a gray area because like they killed Luke. So what am I gonna do? Like, Kylo becomes the new bad guy. I would want to see Snoke to have another apprentice or have his master come into the scene, and then he would fight Ben, and then Ben would turn to the light or something like that and join Rey, and then I don't know, Snoke would come back as a Force ghost or something like that. And Luke would have to fight him along with Yoda and Anakin and Obi-Wan, and it's a vulnerable scene because Snoke can absorb Force ghosts, and that would make him more powerful or become human or become alive again or something like that. And I don't know, there's just so much they could do with it, but they're just not. Like, I don't know, I guess we'll have to wait and see. That's all it is, we'll just have to wait and see. Someone says Kylo Ren sucks. Why does he suck? Why don't you like him? Who would you cast as a young Qui-Gon Jinn? Probably Post Malone. Anything you change in Revenge of the Sith? That's a good question. What would you guys change in Revenge of the Sith? Comment right now in the live chat. What would you change in Revenge of the Sith? I'm thinking... I would want to see more action between... So there was one thing that I wish they would have kept in. It was, and I made a video about this, it was Anakin throwing Palpatine his lightsaber to fight Mace Windu. So I would have liked to have seen Anakin fight Mace and the other Jedi Masters with Palpatine, or at least Palpatine would be watching, and I think that would have been so cool to see, because it would be like Anakin's first training, and we're kind of seeing this flash between Vader and Palpatine, Vader and Sidious, and Anakin and Palpatine, and that would have been the first time on film that we would have seen that. I think that would have been really sweet to see. That would have been really cool. Or like Anakin fighting Mace Windu, and Anakin fighting the 3 Jedi Masters, Kit Fisto, Agen Kolar, and Saesee Tiin, and Palpatine fighting Mace Windu. That would have been sick. That would have been really cool. That would have been something I wanted to see. I mean, that would give up the whole plot of him already turning to the dark side, because he's fighting against his own Jedi Masters, but it would have been a very cool scene. What do you guys think? Yes or no? Christian, thanks for your super chat. You didn't ask a question though. Sam Pickle Simmer says, Dooku should tell Anakin what he knew before dying. Yes, I agree. Let's all go watch that scene, shall we? Yes, I fully agree with that. So, thank you for answering my questions. No problem. Rey plus Ben equals Ren. What do you think? Yeah, I guess. Can we get a part 2 on what if Yoda was at the Jedi Temple during Order 66? Sure. Yeah, we sure can. Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to see. Andrew Wright said it. Anakin stays on the temple. So I don't know if that's what you mean, but what I wanted to see was basically what Anakin was doing inside the Jedi Temple when he was killing them. That's something I really wanted to see. Was all that fighting and everything that was taking place. Not just, you know, kind of bypassing that part, which, no. You know, I want to see what he was doing to them. I want to see him fighting Sintrallik, which we never got to see. Rise of a New Empire, with his super chat says, make your movie. I believe you can do it. I've donated 10 at Kickstarter, and I am behind you all the way. I love what you do. Keep it up. Thank you, Rise of a New Empire. I appreciate your support, and I thank you for believing in me. It really means a lot. Bryce Durant says, Rogue Squadron, a Star Wars story. You know what? I'd be down to see that. I think that would be cool. But as long as we get, you know, the films that we want to see, the things that we should see, you know, like, I don't know, Palpatine rising to power, Palpatine becoming a Sith Lord, Palpatine is a young boy. I think there's so much potential, and if Disney really wants to milk it, which it, you know, obviously they do, their business, they're just milking the wrong characters. Don't make a video about Solo right away. Make a video, I mean, Solo was great, make a movie about Palpatine. Make a movie about Count Dooku, Qui-Gon Jinn, the Jedi Council before Anakin came to them. There's so much there that people want to see. No one really cares that much about Solo. I've asked so many people, and it just blows my mind how little people care about Solo, and it shows. The money shows in the box office. The movie cost $500 million, and it's what, at $150 million now? $170 million? Like opening week, like what, Infinity War got like 250 million opening weekend in like 2-3 days. That's not, this isn't looking good for Star Wars. Like, they have the characters that George built. They have the characters they know the fans love. All they have to do is take all that money they have and make movies about them. It's very simple. So maybe I'm just being impatient. Maybe we're going to get that in the future, such as an Obi-Wan movie and all that. But I'm thinking they really need to, you know, saddle up and get started here. We need to see these movies. You know, again, Boba Fett would be cool, but we don't need to see that right away. We want to see what we don't know yet. We want to see the characters we really care about. Luke Skywalker, after Return of the Jedi, where did he go? What did he do? I want to see that. How did he meet Snoke? Did he ever meet Snoke? Which he in fact never did, and I know there's a video circulating out there on the internet that he did. He never met Snoke. Not that we know of, at least. We've never been told anywhere in canon that he's met Snoke. So, that's what I'd like to see. What did he do with Ben? What were his adventures? What were his stories? What were his, you know, his trials and tribulations? What did he do? There's so much they could have gone into, but, you know, they chose to take another path. And maybe they'll change. I don't know. Maybe they'll do it in the future. Maybe they're keeping it for later. Max says, what did you think about Solo? I missed the start. Alright, well, here's a rundown. I loved Solo. I thought it was great. I thought it was a really good movie. But at the end of the day, it wasn't, you know, it's not a character I'm invested in emotionally. And that's something that I think Disney should, you know, take hold of and seize the day on, because they are the only ones who can do this. So, yeah. But I thought it was a great film. I thought it was really good. It was really nicely made. Ron Howard did a great job. The actors did a great job. Alden played great as Han. He doesn't look like Han, really. He doesn't sound like Han, but he did a great job, and he sold the role. For me, it was great. I loved it. I thought he did a great job. Lando, he also did a great job. Everyone did great. The acting was awesome, and the cameo at the end was really what sold the film for me. DJ Dilly says, just want to say you're awesome. I love the vids. Thank you. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. Fireblaze, thanks for your super chat. Matthew Hansen, love Dooku's fighting style. Thank you, bro. I know. I love Dooku's fighting style too. He's one of my favorite characters. I don't know if you knew that or not, but yeah, he's awesome. He's known as one of the best fencers in all of the Jedi. So that's something very, very hard to do, obviously. Obi-Wan and the High Ground movie confirmed, JK. That would have been fun. I would see that. I'd see a movie about the High Ground. Loto Film United or Untitled Media says all Star Wars movies are flawed. Yeah, so is everything in the world. Every movie is flawed. But which one has more flaws than others? Luke says, is your fan film going to be a full-length movie? It's going to be minimum 30 minutes, at least. But it's going to be extremely high budget, so it's going to look exactly like a Star Wars film. There won't be any difference that you'll notice. You won't see any difference. It's going to be like on par. Rey should have been a Shmi Skywalker clone. Could you imagine? Do you ever plan on making other fan films? Yes, but, I mean, kind of got to get one going first, right? Chris Pratt in the fan film. I don't know what character he would play. He's too funny for a Star Wars movie, I think. Dooku was a great character. Oh my god, you amazing. Kira is Rey's mom. Which directors do you want to direct a Star Wars film? You know what? Ron Howard did a great job with Solo. I really want to see... Who did The Dark Knight? Was it Christopher Nolan? I would like to see the director of The Dark Knight. I think that would be cool. Let's see some more questions here. Last super chat. Seems like George and Mark seemed upset and sad in some interviews regarding what Disney has done so far. Keep hammering, buddy. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. You can just tell Mark Hamill is not happy. Like, you can just tell he's just very depressed and very, very displeased with what they've done to his character. He's gone and called it Jake Skywalker. I mean, come on, you know? Can you say wash your winky in a Vader voice? No. No, that would ruin it. I can't do that. Just pledged $125 on the Kickstarter. I hope this comes to fruition. Your voice is what got me to keep watching your channel. Keep it up. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for believing in my vision. And, you know, even if this one doesn't get funded, which I hope it does, and it still can, the link is down below for you guys to share with, you know, whoever you want, everyone you want. I have a plan B, and this will happen. This will happen one way or another. It just might not be now. You know, maybe it'll be at like 10 million subs or something. Commando Wabbit says, Vader killing Seps on Mustafar is one of my faves. Yes, he is fully divulged into the dark side, and it is a scene that just really, really takes the cake with Vader, with Anakin. How powerful would Maul be if he reached potential? I think he would be a little bit less... Maul's an interesting character because the more angry he gets, the more powerful he gets, just like any Sith. But his rage is what kept him alive for over 10 years, you know, after Kenobi cut him in half. It's what kept him alive in those days where he was cut in half until he was put together. So Maul is a very interesting character, and I don't think he is going to ever reach the potential of, let's say, Anakin or Mace Windu. But I think it's very hard to kill him unless you, like, slice his head in half or something like that. Just because of his will to survive and his anger that keeps him going. Thoughts on the Russo brothers doing a Star Wars film? Ever thought of doing a video on the different form of lightsaber combats like you did with the lightsaber colors? Yeah, that would be cool. I'm not familiar with the Russo brothers. What are those the guys that are doing the... What they do? I don't even know. But I'm not gonna pretend like I know. So yeah, I could definitely do that video as you suggested, for sure. Voice plus Star Wars equals 1.1 million subs. Well, I hope it's not just my voice. I hope it's my creativity and my vision too. But thank you for that. Coleman Trevor is in Palpatine's opera scene. Did you guys just see that? Where is he hanging out? Is he hanging out somewhere here? Somewhere in the beginning? I don't see him. Oh, fun fact, guys. This right here is George Lucas. So that's his cameo. That is George Lucas right there. Let's see if we can see Coleman Trevor. No, well, why would Coleman Trevor be in here? He died in episode 2. Oh, you almost got me there. Pong Krell versus General Grievous. General Grievous. Is there an age limit for fan film auditions? Probably like over 13. Because we need some young Padawans. How powerful would Maul be if you answered that? Will you hire someone for Vader or a fan? Yeah, we'll get to that. Not giving anything away just yet. Oh, Russo Brothers did Infinity War. Dude, they would absolutely kill any Star Wars movie. And in a good way. They would make it dark and very cool. I would love to see that. Let's see some more questions here. Yeah, no, Coleman Trevor's dead. he's a goner. He's a goner for sure. I love this scene too. This is one of my favorite scenes. Where he reveals himself. It's just so cool. Dark. It really shows everything that Palpatine has been like working towards for the last, you know, what is it, like 10 years or so on Anakin? Hey dude, will Yoda be in the fan film because I can voice him for you? Nope, he won't be in the fan film. Or at least, he's not planned to be. So, and the script is done at this point. So he's not in there. Oh, his species, you mean? Coleman Trevor species. Oh, okay. I see. Then yes. What if Thrawn made a movie appearance? That'd be cool. And I hope that he does one day. What is your favorite part of Star Wars? The story in general. It's such a nice story. It's such a cool story. It's so involved. There's so much depth to it. It's something that we can all identify with. You know, triumph and evolving and character development and all these things. So I really identify with that stuff and I really like it. And I think that's one reason why a lot of people identify with Star Wars is because it's a very cool story and it's something that's very, very true to everyone, to every day in our lives. Please, Star Wars Theory, can you put your videos the old introduction and ending? What do you mean? Which one? Do you think Anakin will return in flashbacks for the Kenobi movie? I hope so. I hope he'll visit him in dreams. That's what I want to see. Anakin visiting Obi-Wan, a broken Obi-Wan who's like crying and can't sleep. Basically like a post-traumatic stressed Obi-Wan on Tatooine. Like wakes up in night sweats and just has these like dreams and nightmares where Anakin is like right there with him, like burning or screaming at him. You know, I want them to not hold anything back. And I want to see that. Someone says, I finally picked up some Legend stuff because of your video. Well, that's good. I guess Star Wars can thank me there for making them a sale. How do you think they would handle Rey moving forward in Episode 9? I really don't know because she is kind of the most overpowered character I've ever seen. And it's a shame because she could have been so much different. She could have, you know, she could have like sucked in The Force Awakens, gotten beaten by Kylo Ren, gone to meet Luke, and then basically turned into what Luke turned into in Return of the Jedi. And that's what I'm, you know, that would have been cool. But it's like, where does she go from here? She's already overpowered. She's already, you know, beaten Kylo, who has so much power, versus her, who's never used a lightsaber. You know, in the throne room scene, she was basically on par with Kylo once again. And it's like, how? You know, one of the things I didn't like about the book, the novel, which explains one part of her powers, is that when she had the Force bridge with Kylo, she basically got to see all of his powers and how he uses them, and she like absorbed all of them. So that sucks. How will you feel if your fan film gets demonetized? If it does, it does. At least it's out there for the fans, and that's all I care about. Like, this is not for profit, you know. Whatever. I want to see a vision. This is not for money. I want to see a vision come to fruition. And that to me is priceless. You can't put money on that. What's your favorite nerdy franchise besides Star Wars? I really like Spider-Man and Marvel and all that stuff. I like those movies. I really like X-Men. Wolverine's one of my favorites. Yeah. So I'm thinking that should probably be the end for the live stream today. It's slowing down a bit now, and I think I've answered a lot of your questions. If you guys have any more, just fire some through right now, or else, I guess I'll just go, and I guess I'll just see you tomorrow in the next video. Let's wait a bit for the lag to catch up here. How old do you have to be if you want to be a Jedi in the film? Oh, above 13. Who is your favorite character and why? I like Anakin or Darth Vader because there's so much depth to his character. He just changes so much through the films, and that's something that's really identifiable with real life. Also, Luke Skywalker. Break Minor Boy says, no, you didn't answer mine. What's yours, man? What is your stance on the Game of Thrones directors or writers of the series? I think they're going to do a good job. I mean, just look how successful, Game of Thrones is. Another nerdy, I guess, series I like. I really like DC. I really like Batman and Superman. Steve Olson with a super chat. Have you tried reaching out to Disney Lucasfilm about funding your fan film? No. And I doubt they would. They would just take the script and say, well, we can just do it ourselves. Why would we want you to do it? So, I'd rather not do that. Because I've spent a lot of money on this and a lot of time and other people's time working on it. And I don't want to give it away. And the fact that it's not tied into canon, into, Disney's canon gives me a lot of freedom to do what I want. I can make it more dark. I can make it more epic. And that's what I really want to do. So if you guys want to know more about it, the Kickstarter link is down below. Go check it out. Go share it with your friends. Let me know if you like it. And if you don't, well, I don't know why you wouldn't. Someone says, hey man, any word on when Star Wars HQ will mention the Vader fan film? I follow them too and no word so far. What about Battlefront updates? I don't know. You know what? I can't rely on other people to help me out. I never have in life. And it's just kind of like that line Beckett said. What did he say? It was like, if you don't worry about something. It was cool. I don't really remember what it was, but it was good. You can't be let down by people if you trust them or something like that. It was good though. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? Yeah, I made that video. It would have changed a lot of things. Actually, I'm gonna look up that line right now because it's bugging me. If you guys remember, let me know. Just tell me right now. Is Yoda pansexual? No, I don't think so. At least, hey, we don't know yet. He said, like, if you don't trust anyone, then you can't be let down or something like that. So, I don't know. I don't worry about anyone shouting the fan film because, they have their own agendas. They have their own things to do and worry about. And that's their right. That's their thing. So. Do you like World of Warcraft? I never really got into it. I will donate again if you don't make the goal. You have my support, like I said. If we don't make the goal, there will be another Kickstarter, but I'm just not going to reveal yet what that's about, because we want to make this one happen. So, we can do it. I know we can. So with that said, I'm going to leave it at that. I will see you guys in tomorrow's episode of Star Wars Theory. I thank you all for all your donations and your help and supporting the channel and all your questions. I love hanging out with you guys. So I'm going to be doing more of these live streams very often from now on. Maybe, like one real episode, one real video a day, and then also a live stream at night or something like that. Or maybe like a live stream 3 times a week. Whatever. Definitely want to be doing more of those discussions about the future of Star Wars, the possibilities of Star Wars movies, and just talking solely about those. So, like a Qui-Gon movie, an Obi-Wan movie, or whatever. A Dooku movie would be cool, a Yoda movie. So with that said, thank you guys very much for joining me today, and I will see you all in the next episode of Star Wars Theory. Say it with me now. Until then, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends, remember, the Force will be with you always.